Friday, the 6th of September, 2024. In this video, which is part of my collection of Boerieman Remember, I want to talk about some of the things that we see in front of our own eyes happening to our country, South Africa. But before I talk about that, I need you to listen to this clip. Listen very carefully to what this man is saying.
Good day, this is Themba Mdlalose. White people did it. In a preceding post, I argued that if humans were computers, blacks and whites would have identical hardware. Blacks and whites with similar formal education would have similar software. The problem is the different culture, which is analogous to the operating system. The primitive culture of blacks is a rubbish operating system, which often sabotages the best software, causing it to malfunction. The worst aspect of black culture is superstition and belief in witches. Blacks overthrew colonial and apartheid oppression many decades ago, but their superstitious minds still blame this oppression for everything that does not go right. To the superstitious African mind, a witch, which must be white of course, is responsible for every misfortune. There is no place for introspection, which is why we never recognize the wrong things we do and change accordingly. Even when the ANC loots and destroys the economy right in front of our eyes, we blame white witches for our economic woes and continue voting for our ANC tormentors, the looting criminals. Zuma only managed to hijack some ANC voters by telling them that he was still an ANC member. They probably also remain ANC members. Without that trick or scam, these voters would have voted ANC again, and we would have had an ANC majority government as usual. Supporters of comrade parties, that is the ANC, the MKP, and the EFF, were taught to abhor thinking. They subscribe to prescribed opinions. Any black person with views that differ from the prescribed comrade party views is assumed to be under the spell of white witches. For example, whenever I express an opinion on TikTok, comrade party imbeciles always accuse me of reading material given to me by some white witches. Blacks are assumed to be incapable of having independent opinions, which differ from prescribed comrade party opinions. When lights go out, ANC-supporting imbeciles assume some white witches are responsible. There is therefore absolutely no incentive for the ANC to stop thieving because they don't get punished for it. White witches can always be blamed for the problem. That is what I refer to as our rubbish operating system, our rubbish culture.
Well, there's a lot of truth in the things that he has been saying there. The problem that we have is that the keyboard warriors and the racist blacks on Twitter and on Facebook and on TikTok are incapable of understanding what he is talking about. Now, you must have picked up that he refers to the fact that he compares us to computers. And he says that the black people has got a rubbish operating system. The bigger problem is there's a lot of blacks, especially this outspoken racist blacks, that have got a shit fucking CPU. Not only the operating system is cuck, the CPU is cuck. But that is the problem that we are faced with. And there are people that are going to object with me using the word blacks, and then they say I should not generalize. Well, I have got a deal for you. If you are willing to recognize the existence of my tribe, the Boer tribe, and stop with your generalization and the use of the word whites. I will stop generalization with the word blacks. But you have to come to the party. We are sitting with a situation, and this is above these guys with a shit operating system and even worse, a shit CPUs. You cannot understand what the fuck is going on. But the reality is that South Africa is collapsing and is sliding at a hell of a speed towards a sewer. And you are incapable of understanding the seriousness. One of your spokespeople made a stupid fucking statement that she doesn't care if the rand falls. If it falls, we will pick it up. What shit is that? But I'm going to remind you of Moses 6 verse 6. Stupid people must suffer. The scary part of that whole Moses thing is we are now finding ourselves in the realm of Moses 6 verse 13. And Moses 6 verse 13 clearly states, fuck around and you will find out. You guys have been fucking around and you are finding out, but you are too stupid to realize that you are finding out. Let's take a look at some facts. Then we can carry on from there. This is an image of Johannesburg under white government. Look at that. Look at that image. Look at that. There's flowers in the gardens and the parks and the streets is clean and everything is in order. Here is another photograph of Johannesburg. Look at that city. Organized, clean. Here are some street. Here's a street shot in Joburg. Look at that street. Look at that sidewalks. Can you see it is clean? There's not rubbish lying around. Can you see that? Look at those buildings. There are people living in those buildings, having a decent life. And here's another one. Look at that. Look at how that grass is mowed, how that hedges is trimmed, everything. There's women walking with a small girl, babies. There's no fucking things running around grabbing children and abducting children. None of that. And then came 1994. And what did we see happening to Joburg? This became a daily thing in Johannesburg. Look at that. And then look at this street. Look at that. That informal trader sitting around. Look at the bags of rubbish lying around. Millies, leaves lying around. Look at that. And every person that walks in that street is not sure whether he will reach his destination alive. Look at this alley between the buildings. Look at that. And that is in Johannesburg. That never happened under the apartheid white regime. Never. Do I say apartheid was a good thing? I'm not saying that. I'm just pointing out the realities. Take note of it. This is the alley between two buildings today in Johannesburg. Look at this. Look at this street in Johannesburg. Look at it. Look at the rubbish in the gutters there. Water running in that gutters. Where does that water come from? Leaky fucking pipes that is not repaired. Look at it. That is what is happening today in Johannesburg. Look at this building. This is a building where people are living in. It never looked like that under apartheid. You blacks did this. You blacks, you did this to Johannesburg. Not us, not the whites. You did it. Look at that. But you don't believe in cleaning shit. You don't believe in maintaining shit. You come into a city like Johannesburg and you fucking collapse the thing. You came to Johannesburg in the first instance because it was a good environment to live in. And then you arrived in Johannesburg and you fucked it up and you turned it from this, you turned it into this. That is what you're blacks, you did it. You did it. Call me a fucking racist, I don't give a continental fuck for that. This is the reality. Your handiwork. The problem is that shit CPU and that shit operating system. And those among the blacks that upgrades to a better operating system, you, the dumb shit, you accuse them of being Uncle Toms and being kitchen boys and being clever blacks and being this, because you are too fucking stupid to understand that you are heading into the sewer. Go and look. Zimbabwe. Great plans. Chase all the whites away. And they fucking dying of hunger. Every African country did that, went down that route. Not one of these to the north actually prospered after they became free. I listened to an American video blogger, a black guy, and he made the following statement. He said, you blacks, you claim you have built the railways, you've built the cities and all. Yes, you did, but under the supervision of whites. Show me what have you done on your own. The reality is, whatever you get under your control, you fuck it up. Now, do you blacks understand the Zimbabweans, when their government fucked their country up and they started dying of hunger, they flowed into South Africa to survive. Where the fuck are you going to go when this country collapses? Where? Where will you go? What will happen is you're going to die of hunger. And you must understand, all the donations from the West that kept these countries going over the past 30, 40, 50 years, that support is busy evaporating. BRICS is wiping that cuck out. And your nightmare lies in the fact that BRICS is not a charity operation. BRICS is focused on building economies of the members of BRICS. And you always want, yeah, China is great and all of that, Russia is great, Putin are us, we are Putin. What the fuck are you talking about? Xi Jinping and Putin sits in their offices and they look on their screens of how you are destroying the country. And they phone one another and they said, bro, did you see that shit? And then you blacks sit here and you fool yourself. You think BRICS is going to save you. You think BRICS is going to maintain you. You think BRICS is going to take care of you. BRICS is not going to do it. They're not a charity operation. What can fucking happen and what might very easily happen, some of the BRICS countries will take over South Africa. But here comes the shit. They bring their own people. You must look around. See how many immigrants are in the South Africa. My information is that the official South African population is seen at 65 million. But the unofficial numbers of immigrants is 25 million. So think about that for a moment. Half of the total population of South Africa, half of that population, there's the same number of immigrants. So if you look at the overall picture, immigrants now make up 1/3 of South Africa, and just stop with that cuck calling me a fucking settler and all of that. This is what I think about that statement of yours. My ancestors fought for this country. My ancestors fought the fucking British for this country. What did you do? What did your ancestors do? The only tribe that resisted the fucking British was the Zulus. The rest of you all fucking surrendered. So you better think about the shit that is heading your way. You must understand that the Zulu tribe see you as traitors. They see you as people supporting their enemy. You've got big shit coming your way, but you don't want to fucking see it. And I'm saying it again. Until the day that you, blacks, recognizes my tribe, the Boer tribe, don't come with that Afrikaner kak with me. I don't want to hear that word. Look at my tribe, the Boer tribe. Go and study this history of my tribe, the Boer tribe. Go and look in the books. The Anglo-Boer War. Not the fucking Anglo-African, Afrikaans War. The Anglo-Boer War. Look at most of the monuments standing in this country. Representing the Boer history. Not the fucking Afrikaner history. The Boer history. And until you recognize and acknowledge the existence of the Boer, I will call you all blacks. Think about that. Let it sink in. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. Thank you for your support.